I wanted to thank you guys for taking time to speak with me today.
Happy to be here, man.
Yes, Chris made the road trip up to Connecticut finally, and yeah, we're going to do some work today, and I thought it would be a great thing for all of us to catch up.
Perfect
Excellent.
time. Perfect
And
time.
what's on the agenda today?
Lots of guitar solos, and we're gonna read you some acoustic stuff I cut, right?
Yeah, so Chris has been doing a lot of his guitar parts at home, and me being the annoying producer that I am with this project,
Anal retentive.
I'm going to have Chris redo some stuff so it is copacetic with the rest of the session. We're trying to keep everything uniform now, because we're going to be actually some of the stuff that's on there. We're going to take listens back and see if we're going to take guitars out,
Yeah,
add
well,
guitars.
yeah.
You know, it's because when we work at Chris's house, you know, he has a setup, but we're working off
Not a lot of power.
his Mac, and so we're limited to certain things to do.
Sure.
I was lucky enough to get a full blown setup in here.
Yeah.
So now, after discussing with Mike Maroney, we're actually going to do all the vocals here as well. Last
Wow.
last album we did everything at Mike's, and this time all the vocals and mine and Chris's guitars will be all done here.
Is it? Well, I forgot what preamp you got that you're so excited about.
Uh,
Isn't there part of it? There was a really good preamp you had?
Well, yeah, so I have a new interface, that one there, and because when we were recording the parts originally, stuff was great. Don't get me wrong, but now I got upgrades to the studio, new computer, new plugins and stuff, and we're really gonna just take the guitar sound to the next level. And whoever mixes this album, that's another story we'll get to later. Is going to have fun with the 500 guitar tracks. So
it is bad. I don't remember who it was. I think I'm going to use the name Martin Scorsese, and I might be wrong, but this filmmaker said, "I don't finish films, I abandon them," and that's how I feel about like my parts. I'm like, I could just keep going. I'll write another 60 little, and it becomes you got to like stop and call an end to something.
we literally
That
did that.
reminds me of Ace Frehley. During the Elder time, he wasn't get along with the rest of the band. So for the song Dark Light, they said, we need a solo from you. So his fuck you to them was he gave him a 29-minute solo and said, you pick out what
Yes.
you want.
Yep, and there's a one part in the solo where it just keeps going. "Nah, nah, nah, nah."
Yeah.
I was like, why? What is the purpose?
That was part of a 29-minute solo. I actually have that solo.
That's
amazing.
awesome. That's ace. But yeah, so we did we did like a bunch of things like the acoustic tune. I know we've told you that we work with Pete from Sound of the Sirens.
That was fun.
What's kind of crazy about that whole thing is, right, so Pete gave me a rhythm guitar part. Something we and him had worked on a Sound of Sirens song that he had taken out, and I'm like, dude, why don't we take that and make a full song out of it?
Mhm.
And the crazy part is me, Pete, and Chris put our own parts in without hearing what the other guys did.
Right. Just had like a section to work
Mhm.
on. So I came up with some rhythm things based on what I was hearing, and then a little solo, and I think I did a harmony too, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that's what we did. We each did a harmony part and then like a solo. That's what it
But
was.
the thing is, neither one of us heard each other's parts.
Yep.
And then in the final thing, like we put it together and we're like, holy shit, that works.
They're all interchangeable.
And nobody the most
It'll-
amazing thing was,
Yeah.
it wasn't like we sat there and go, all right, I want you to play this, I want you to do this because this is what I'm doing. No, I go, here's the track. What do you come up with? And then all of a sudden, so today we're gonna clean up some of that stuff. It's funny, they say the best things come when you record them like on the spot without thinking. His solo in the song is perfect, except there's one note that goes dead.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make him reach the solo because that one note. I mean, it's gotten to the point where this is gonna be, like I said, if we don't do the mixing, we've got outside parties that are pretty well known that are gonna do the work, and we want to give them a product that they don't have to be like, we need you to
Sure.
Make their job easy.
Yeah. So
Well, also you make it clear too, because if you want it sort of mixed how you're thinking about it, you have to present it in a way where they can hear what you're going for.
Sure.
Clear, well, they're gonna mix it the way they hear it then. Good luck.
yeah, and that's kind of a good thing about being able to do this on your own and have our own setup is that, like, even the last album when I recorded it, my parts on my MacBook Pro. Now I have a full studio. That's why we did everything at Maroney's house, because he has a full studio. But I would do like rough mixes and be like, okay, here's where I want this, here's where I want that. And even that was like during the whole COVID era, he would fly me, mixes and say, what do you think? What do you think? So now, if we're going to get an outside party to do the mixing, I want to give them, hey, this is my idea. This is where
Right.
levels. This is what I want to do.
Mhm.
And so the guy who wants to mix our album wanted so badly to do the last Altered Minds album. And now Freddie's and Mike have worked with him. I'm not going to drop any names in until we know what's going on. But he's like, yeah, I want to do this album, and he wanted to do the last one. So he's like, maybe you guys can send me a couple of songs and I'll pick which one I'll do a quick mix on, see what you guys think. So, we want to make sure everything on our end is right. Plus, we're doing guitars in a whole different way now. Most bands will straight up mic up an amp and there's your signal, right?
Mm.
We are using specifically the whole album's been recorded with like plugins because you can't tell the difference. Live is a different story.
Sound wise, I think that ship has sailed. You can't tell me the
Yeah.
difference. And it's not to say that you can't put a mic on an amp and get a great sound. That's great. You can do all
Sure.
of these things. But dear God in heaven, it's so much easier now and so much more consistent. I have
Yeah.
a 71 Marshall 50-watt super lead. It's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. But on random Tuesdays, if the voltage isn't right, it sounds funny or it buzzes or it does
Right.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
I run a tube stereo system at home, and it's worlds of difference, but there's moments where it's not.
Bingo.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even my Marshall I have here in the studio, there's times I got to rebias it just to get that tone. Now, here's the thing, right? So a lot of people are like some purists about that stuff. So, my friend Chris Harris, he's produced Queensryche, Rob Zombie, and all that stuff. He's doing the new Accept album as well. And I hung out with him when Accept and Queensryche just played recently. And I was talking to him about Wolf Hoffman's guitars. Because when I met Wolf, he told me, Wolf's like, dude, we use Kempers on everything, even live.
Mhm.
So now what he told me is, these guys have their sound set up where I can just capture the image and you won't know.
Yeah.
And then you can get that consistent quality
Sure.
out of your older gear.
Yeah, dude,
You're actually, doing IRs and whatnot.
The last two Priest albums, what's his name? Richie Faulkner used totally Kempers.
Good.
Totally
Oh, wow.
Kempers. They're not live. They may not even be using Marshalls. I mean, when I saw Accept and I got to go backstage, you saw a wall of Marshalls.
Yeah,
they had a
but
Kemper.
Yeah, exactly.
They had an actual, modeler and they're like, it's just so convenient.
What
So-
it looks like versus what it is.
And that's why now we're doing the guitars that way, where we're doing completely dry, direct signals. And what's kind of cool
You
is,
should have heard what the tracks sound like when I send them to them.
oh my God, yeah.
It's like Tinker Toys because there's no effects at all.
Yeah, and
You
it's
put the sound on.
And what's kind of cool is, since me, him, and Mike Maroney are using the same plugins, what's kind of cool about it is I can go over the mic and just email him the preset and go, hey,
Right.
these are the sounds we came up with for rhythms. Throw them on the session. See what
Again,
you
so
think.
much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier than back then. I remember being with him in his basement again, all those years
Yeah.
ago in Wantaw, and literally taking a 4-track cassette, mixing it down to stereo DAT 2-track, flying it back in on 2-track.
Yeah.
Then we got 2 more tracks. Mix it down to
Yeah.
Holy crap! What were we doing?
Yeah.
And it worked. I mean, we got demos made that way. That's
Yeah.
the one that's on the record. for
Yeah.
God's sake. I
And
mean,
now we have like unlimited tracks and we're not paying anybody to record. So it makes,
yeah.
so it
big
gives our
difference.
drummer even bigger headache when I send him like, he's like, hey, how are the tracks? I go, yeah, there's 52 guitar tracks on this song. And he thinks we're kidding.
Right.
But that's how it works. So yeah, so that's where this is going right now. Today is going to be a lot of also spitballing. Like what I was telling him
We'll
was,
try some stuff.
yeah, what I do is I'll record. Like there's a couple of tunes we're going to work on today where I've added a lot of extra guitars, and then instead I put keys on. Now my friend Pete from Sound of Sirens. He loves keys. Sarcasm. So I told him, I go, hey Pete, I'm putting keys on these songs just for you. So, but now what's kind of cool is you don't want to go like too crazy and make it like I don't know
Sure.
some fun or whatever. But there's certain lines I'm going to play Chris some stuff where the keys are playing the guitar lines and it actually adds to it. So we're gonna go back and forth with stuff like that.
And where would you say that you're at with the album? Are we looking at a release this year?
Yes, our label would like to put it out in November. They've already reached out to us. So tentatively, we're looking to have a final mastered copy by October. Like I said, pending on, we've got a couple of different avenues, whether we're going to mix it, someone else is going to mix it, and someone else is going to master it. I can't say anything more than that, but that's where we're at. So it's funny. The whole thing sort of like reopened itself up because we were waiting on Mike Maroney to finish tracking his
Yeah,
drum,
whole other thing.
right? So
Everybody's
you
got
know,
a family and
yeah,
stuff.
everybody's got
Yeah,
lives.
yeah.
Mike works in the medical field. He does a photography business. He's got 3 little kids,
It's
and
a lot.
Chris is playing with multiple games. He teaches in college. I'm doing a lot of different projects. I have a day job, so it's like for us to do our guitar parts, it's easy.
Yeah,
Without that
that's
drum
the easy
part,
part. But
Right.
so what had happened is I think Freddie had finally said, "Look, it's been wow, we got to finish this because we had some stuff tracked." And so he's like, "Listen, I have a drummer in a band I play with who's willing to step in and finish the record, get it done." And yeah, and that's I mean, and I called Mike and I said to him, I go, "You're my friend, you're my brother. This is
Well, it's not
before
personal.
anything." I go, "You and me started this. I want to finish it with you." I go, and he's like, "Listen," he goes, "I want to be there. I want to finish it." And within that conversation, boom, he recorded a bunch of more tracks, edited drums,
Done well.
and yeah,
It sounds like he's got a little edge.
yeah,
He's been like, all right.
he's playing angry. Yeah, I'm gonna send you when this is over a rough mix of 4,000 miles now
Great.
with new drums, and Freddie just laid the bass. It opened the whole song up.
No, it's
Wow.
really, it's
I
really.
mean, I remember you said previously you'd like that song. I
Yeah.
think it even more. Like it was weird because we've always said we're gonna use "While I Sleep" as the single and stuff, right? Now even Freddie said, "Dude, this is my favorite Altered Mind song now," and it's completely different than the way me and him
Not
wrote
even
it.
close, yeah.
That's on the actual the Steel Gallery record that has the original demo.
Mhm.
Mm.
Completely different. Same song, but yeah, it's definitely got a better vibe. But yeah, so Mike's back in, and then about 15 days ago, Mike cut his finger and got 10 stitches in his hand.
Oh,
You can't make this
wow.
stuff up.
Yeah, you can.
You just can't. By the way, the completely unrelated, the bass player, I'm the bass player. The guitar player from Serial Poets actually broke his finger almost the same day, dislocated, fracture, the whole thing. I'm only here today because I would have been gigging with Serial
Yeah.
Poets tonight. But that show was canceled because he can't play. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I got to use this opportunity to get the hell up to Connecticut.
Yeah.
So,
Rob.
here we are.
Rob, the guitar player from Serial
Rob Granger,
Poets,
oh.
sent me a picture of his finger, and I'm like, oh
Scary.
my god, dude.
Scary.
I go, I'm sorry about that, but thank you because now I can finally get Chris up.
Yeah. Right.
Forward.
Well, but even funnier is I actually sent an apology. I'm like, because normally I would just go to the show. I'm going to go support the show I would have been at anyway. I would do that, but I was like, guys, I'm going to go and do this other thing. They were like, you're cool. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
we have
great.
a lot of like cross utilization between the
Yeah.
two bands. We're all friends.
Everybody's friends.
From back since we were in the 90s, since we were younger. So it's kind of
Yeah.
cool. But so that's where we're at. So we got I think 4 more songs left to fully track drums because Mike re-edited his drums, like like I said, he'd done stuff. Now he's got the sessions up, so that's why we're gonna take the time now to do any guitar work we can on what we got.
Right.
Chris still has solos to write for another 4 songs, but we want to put out. We're thinking of maybe dropping a single on streaming first.
Mm.
So we're gonna try to clear up whatever we can here,
Yeah.
and then yes, our singer finally contacted me yesterday. Listen, I love the guy. He's a singer. So Chris has been trying to get a hold of him. I've been trying to get a hold of him.
He's got a family.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like Mike is like me. He'll play. You got a check. We're gonna go play with your band. Like we don't care what the music is. We play
Right.
anything. Got money, quite frankly. I hate to say it like that. I don't mean that's all it's about. But I always tell people it's like I do it because you're paying me to be away from my family, man. Like
Right,
I gotta
sure.
spend every second away. But if I come home, besides having a great freaking time, because God, do I love to play, I have money now. It makes sense, and then we're going to Disney together, and my family understands the sacrifice they're making, if that makes sense. But everybody's situation is unique, and
But see,
we're gonna get Mike.
the
here.
beautiful
It's gonna
thing
come.
about it is Mike is so good when you get him in here.
Oh, and he's
Like-
so easy to work with.
Yeah, like
Right.
literally, like if the vocal tracks I have for him, the scratch vocals, if we had recorded them better
Oh, you could use
and
it
we did not use them as
Yeah.
a scratch vocal,
if you would have thought of it at the time. I will tell you this: next time you record him, always think you're going to keep it.
oh yeah,
Because he's got stuff on there that he didn't tell me it was scratch tracks. So I'm writing my shit thinking this sounds great.
Right.
And it's scratch tracks. I could hear certain things, but I figured all that would get fixed later or something. No, it's all scratch.
Yeah,
Like, oh, shit.
we write a lot.
Sounds great.
A lot of our lead stuff, especially like on outros, so we write based on how Mike's gonna sing.
Yeah, I'm reacting to his phrasing.
But now, since we've written some cool lead stuff, I'm gonna
It
tell
might be
Mike,
the other way
I'm
around.
like,
Yeah.
dude, don't change what you did.
Yeah.
Use
Right.
yours back as your reference.
He's great at that, though. When we did the stuff at my place,
And with
he
everything being said, I wanted to ask you, is it safe to say that after the release that you won't tour this album?
Who knows? I
you
mean,
never say never,
so there's
but it would be pretty special.
there's a few bands in New York that have been asking us to gig with
That's
them.
true too.
Quite a few, in the same
Mhm.
vein that, I don't know what the hell you call us, progressive metal,
Progressive metal's fine.
you know,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. So I've been talking to Joe DiBiase from Fates Warning.
Mm.
He's local here too. It turns out that
So
Frank
cool.
Aresti went to the same high school as my daughters, and they're like, "Hey, do you know Frank Aresti?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, he's in our wall in our high school.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so even when I met Joey Vera, when I went to see Queensryche, I'm like, yeah, he's like, what do you guys sound like? I'm like, oddly enough, we've been compared to like early Fates Warning and Queensryche.
Yeah.
So the bands that we're working with, apparently, this music's coming back here.
Mhm.
So it's kind of cool that if we do some gigs, we want to do a release gig because we've
That
got
would be
enough friends and
amazing.
family,
Yeah.
plenty of places in New York too. But now we got bands like, hey, you want to
We
do some
could do
shows with
Hades
us?
anytime we want.
Yeah. So there's
I've been using that place for a while now.
yeah,
Great.
so we'll probably get that done just to get it done.
Right.
If this is our swan song,
Right.
because I don't think me and Chris have any
You
more
dying?
songs written. Yeah, I'm dying.
Is there something I need to know, Ron?
I left you all the guitars, Chris.
You're good to hurry up and die.
So yeah, we
Hang on, guys.
we are going to try to make this happen. But yeah, right now we just we want to make this. So here's the thing, right? The label wants to do the last release they did was a European release.
Yes.
European. They want to do a full worldwide release on this one, so we don't have to make a U.S. version,
So cool.
stuff like that. So now that's why we want to make this everything just rolls fluidly on this. No covers on this one. We are recording a cover that is going to go on a comp album.
That's something different.
That's something different. You'll get the update on that when we do it, but that will probably put on Spotify, just as that. But this one's got 10. Let's say 9.5 songs. It's 10 songs. But half a song is like an intro, which becomes part of a song.
Yeah,
So
see how that fits in the record.
yeah, so it's 10 songs.
Makes sense.
The whole vibe is the whole in Darkness Eternal, vampire, death. Not gloomy death, but it's I just watched a lot of vampire movies.
Ron really secretly wishes he was goth. I think.
I'm just too old to be goth at this point, and I'm not dyeing my hair black ever again. So I'm gonna be as goth as Gary Oldman was. He was the old Dracula, right? I'm the old Dracula.
You are getting there. That's pretty close. We're getting there.
So, from your minds, I wanted to ask you, what do you feel are the differences between Resurrected and the new release?
Well, I'm on it.
Yeah, he's finally on it. Well, you know what? We
First
did
record. I didn't have any time.
we did that
do it.
we did that re-release, right? That limited edition one
Yes.
venue.
And that has me on it.
So that's got Chris playing the solo on Man of the Silver Mountain.
Oh, that's true, right? I forgot about that.
A remix on that.
Which I love the original too.
Yeah,
Shit.
Mike Flint's was originally on the solo, so we put that on.
Good buddy.
And we put a teaser for the next album on it where it just says coming soon. So you'd have to listen to the CD and be like, what the hell is this? And it's a teaser for the new album.
Yeah.
But this one is definitely more of that, like, not maidenish.
Well, it's more conceptually connected too. It has an idea kind of from front to back.
Each song is intertwined that way. So when we do the track listing, it's not a concept album.
Not at all.
Right.
But it'll flow like that, especially what the songs are, how they're written. But it's definitely you've still got, like Barren Plains is pretty fucking heavy, I think. We did some heavy, and it's same thing. Like these are songs that me and him wrote years ago that when we let our old band members hear them, like that sounds nothing like. I'm like, yeah.
No, it's so different.
We made it, in more relevant. I don't know if relevant is the term. Modern, yeah.
Modern. The other end of it is you live with songs, they change. Like even I do tons and tons of covers, but the bands I play covers with regularly, I find it, like when I go back and listen sometimes, I'm like, what have I done? I've written a part that ain't even close to what's on.
Right.
And worse, if in certain bands, the fans will get into that. You almost wind up being pushed in a direction. But with this, I think this is a natural progression. And I think you're going to hear that it's, like I said, a little bit more cohesive, not in any way detrimental to the first release, but just we have a better idea what we're doing. We have better gear. Yeah.
And we're not pressured to do stuff. Like when we the
Well,
first
this is
thing, you know,
privilege is
the
what it
first
is.
thing, you know, the first album we had when we did the first stuff years ago, you know, there was money involved, there was a time involved. Just get it done. Just get it done. You
Right.
know, we did everything live. You know, me and him recorded our guitar parts live. The two different amps, sounds didn't melt. Now it's uniform. Everything's uniform. It's like I'm literally doing all the rhythms because it like Wolf Hoffman told
James
me.
Hetfield.
Yeah, Wolf Hoffman told me, he goes, I said, you know, when you record, he goes, look, I do all the rhythms in the studio because there's times where the other guitar player can't be there. It's something I wrote. So that's
fine.
why on this one I'm doing the rhythms and Chris is gonna fly his parts in. And now today
Yep.
we're gonna listen to stuff and add stuff, take away stuff, you know, do it that way. But it's definitely, I would say it's heavier. You know, it's definitely, I mean, after this is all said and done, I will let you hear the original versions of these songs from when me and him did them in like '92.
Oh, it's night and day.
Yeah, and you're gonna be like, wow, because the old bass player, and the old drummer heard him, and they're like, wow, you guys. I'm like, yeah,
4,000 Miles in particular is just so different.
yeah, it is completely
But
different.
even Baron
Wow.
playing, I can hear the old lyrics in my head. I can sometimes even hear the old singer once in a while, just kind of hearing it, and it's great. It just grew. You incorporate who you become as you get older. It's just
And also,
Sure.
having a different drummer gives the songs a different
Well,
perspective.
Maroney is. I mean, Anthony was amazing. It's not a better or worse thing in that sense, but Mike's style kind of suits this.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
And same with Freddie's bass too. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So when I send the stuff over to Freddie, I put like a shitty, you know, bass line on it. The best part is I did a bass line once for While I Sleep, and Chris thought it was Freddie.
I thought it was Freddie. It was great.
I go,
It was
no,
groovy.
no, it's me. It's hard. And then I go isolate the bass line. He goes, yeah.
And then I went, oh, okay, now
I go, yeah, that's you're not.
in the mix. It was really good. I was like, this works. I think
He's
half of it-
thanking Freddie. He's
I
like,
was
you did a
saying, Freddie,
great
way to
job.
go. Because it's my tune, and I loved what he was doing with it. And I was like,
Mhm.
this is really cool. Because there were notes that got changed and things that altered, because that's what happens.
And Freddie's like, I haven't even done the bass yet.
And I'm
I go,
like,
yeah,
it's
no.
like, am I out of a job now? Freddie's coming.
But so we just got the bass
It brings
track
up
from
something
Freddie
else, but-
for I just got the bass tracks from him for 4,000 Miles. What he did in the song, like just the verse, makes the song sound different.
Changes everything.
And it works. It sounds really cool. So yeah, I'll give you sneak peeks of this stuff. But when we're done with and the record's released, I will let you hear the original version of the song, and you're gonna be like the label wanted to put them on the record, like, hey, let's put them on. I'm like, no, no. I go, those are for limited ears only, you know. But
Right.
retrospectively, it's great to go back and listen to them and say, wow, this has changed. But yeah, definitely a heavier. I'd say it's heavier. Definitely more. I would definitely put us more into a Queensryche. What do you call it? Fates Warning. Fates Warning.
I think,
Era.
yeah.
Parallel era.
Mhm.
That era of Fates Warning. You know.
Now you make me think of No Exit too.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
think. That,
No,
yeah, that's
I don't
different.
mean that we sound like that. I mean,
Yeah.
now I'm thinking of No Exit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Parallels is one of my favorite albums, and
Mine as well.
you get that subliminal influence in there in the writing. Even I've even redone guitars with different chord voicings after hearing what Jimmy Matias does, and I'm like, wow, let me just try different voicings and stuff, and you don't know it as an average listener. You're like, yeah, it sounds cool, but when it's funny, I have friends come here that when I work with them in the studio, I let them hear some of our stuff who've never seen a recording in process. And then I'll go, here, this is the song, take a listen. I go, all right, now I'm going to take something out. And I'll take out one guitar part. And they're like, wow, that sounds weird. I go, and then when I isolate, I go, there might be like 4 or 5 chords. I go, you don't know it's there, but once I take it out, you do. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to listen to stuff today and be going, hey, should we leave this here? Should we not? But I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it a lot.
Those are my favorite parts. The ones where if I put them in, you don't know it's there. But if I take it out, it feels like the floor fell out.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that subtlety and atmosphere.
Yeah, so heavier. Let's put it that way. Not Metallica heavy, but heavier. Heavier than the last album. Last album we had, I think Alone in the Dark and Destiny and Planet of the Crossings were the 3 heaviest. This whole album has got that vibe. Every song has got that, punch in the face, heavier drive. So I'm happy, and now with Mike's new drumming, the way he's like you said, he's playing angry now, and it fucking sounds good. It sounds
Oh
good.
yeah. I'm looking forward to the release. I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's taking a bit.
You think? You
It's
think?
taking a bit.
Yeah, so before this whole thing happened, this was another thing I said to Mike. I go, dude, the last time we tracked drums was November 2023.
That's too
I go,
long ago,
it's
man.
too long. And that's why Freddie was like, listen,
This is
I got,
crazy. Let's get it moving.
yeah, I got someone, let's finish this. And that was the kick in the ass
We
Mike
light the
needed,
fire. That's all.
and he's, he's in 100%. And then he cut his finger. And he had to send us pictures so we didn't think he was just making it up. I was like, all right, dude, no pictures. Just let your wife use the knives around the house from now on.
Right.
Knife skills are serious, man. You
Yeah.
got to learn how to cut.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to thank you guys for taking time to speak with me. I
You
think
pressed
everybody-
record this
all
time,
your
right?
fans are
I heard
looking-
it.
Yep.
I heard
you pressed
Yeah.
record.
Did it. I heard it start.
And all your fans are looking forward to this album. I mean,
Awesome, man. Awesome. We love it.
everything I
That
look
makes
at
four
on
of
your
us, man.
posting
Right.
sites are,
My mom, my
well, where's
dad.
the new one? Where's the new one? And it's nice to catch up and hear about the progress on it.
Yeah, well, you know what? We've got a target date, and we're gonna fucking get it done. And we're not gonna, like I said, we're not gonna half-ass it. I'm not that we did half-ass anything, but
So,
but now since we, like I said, if there's gonna be outside influences mixing and mastering,
Mhm.
gotta present a clear picture.
yeah, we want to give them a project like this is it. And then what's kind of cool is we're actually auditioning them to see if we like what they're gonna do.
Right.
Nice
I
thing.
mean, we could still go and do it like the last one. We did the whole thing ourselves, mastered, mixed, and everything, and we could still do it. It's not a big deal. But the guys, Mike and Freddie were talking. Hey, what if we did this?
we might find that's the secret sauce that gives it also a new sound.
Sure.
And then again, it may not be to what we're thinking. So, but in the end,
Ron
It's
has
gonna be good.
trouble giving up control.
no, I don't. I don't. Listen, I've recorded bands my whole life. He's been with me when I've recorded bands, whether they be rock, hardcore. I did a full hardcore punk album years ago, and it sounds like me recording it. Like I would put in like extra guitars and stuff where these guys could not play the shit lot. It sounds great on that. That is Altered Minds. We're gonna have to bring an orchestra with us to do all the guitar parts. And everything. But no, it's gonna be good. The main thing I wanted to do is literally get away from the whole Maiden comparison. I love Maiden. He loves Maiden. It's
worship.
what brought us together
Sure.
back in the day. But this album, yeah, Maiden's influence is the twin guitars, harmonies, and fucking to this day my all-time favorite band. But it's a lot of people from the last album like, oh, it sounds like Maiden. I'm like, not this one.
Yeah.
Not this
And I
one.
wonder
Yeah,
how much
yeah,
bands
Maiden
like
in it.
Thin Lizzy influenced Maiden with that guitar harmony. Because if
Absolutely.
you go back further and you listen to like early Thin Lizzy after Bell left and they dueled up guitars,
Yeah.
man, that stuff is phenomenal.
Both Gary Moore fans.
Yeah, we're both. Yeah, exactly. That's what the thing is when we write.
I'm a John Sykes fan. If we're gonna get into all
Yeah,
that,
oh, hell
it's
yeah,
not-
me too.
that's the beauty. Like
Blue Murder is criminally underappreciated.
when we start listening to stuff, we start writing. Like we already can hear harmony lines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what me and Pete in Sound of Sirens. Pete's writing stuff, and he'll send it to me. He goes, "What do you got?" And I'll hear it, and he goes, and I'll throw a harmony line to him, like on a riff. He's like, "I fucking knew it."
Yeah.
He goes, "I can hear it," and I think that's where the influence comes from. But now, from just like instead of writing straight up like just straight power chords or everything, that's where I'm going more into that Queensryche Fates Warning vibe.
Yeah.
Hearing different chord voicings and how they sound and shit. So it's gonna be good.
It's funny. He mentions that, and what I think of is Andy Summers. I really think of instead of playing a simple part, like spreading it out across the guitar, or
Yeah.
Alex Lifeson, that
Yeah.
sort of orchestral
Sure.
approach, broader parts, bigger parts. Yeah,
I just like to make things sound good.
there you go.
Chris is a music professor. I'm a guy who knows how to sort of play guitar.
What's the
All right.
difference?
So one day he was trying to explain to me theory. I'm like, dude,
Don't.
just fucking
It's all
play.
right. Here's what I do.
He's like, all right, so I'm playing a flat seventh over this. I'm like, dude, just fucking play the solo. I don't care what fucking it's fun. Does it sound good? Yes, great. That's why we get along so well.
It does work. It's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Well,
So
thank you, my friends, for taking time to speak with me. And I hope we can talk again closer to release date, my friend.
oh, you will.
That'd be great. Be happy to
And
do
then
it.
I'll talk to you after the playoffs, after the Islanders knock Pittsburgh out.
Absolutely. Oh, well, I don't know if that's going to happen,
Did you
but
see?
we'll see.
Did you see them? Did you see them the last
So-
few games?
Yeah, okay, everybody's down. There's a lot of bad spells. So Chris's son is in the other room over there.
He just
He's a
yelled
Ranger
out.
fan. Hey! And he's a Ranger fan.
Just yelled out, Islanders suck.
Yeah, he's in an Islander home right now. But anyway, yeah, so definitely, like I said, once this is done, I'm going to just exclusively send you the original versions of these songs that me and him recorded years ago.
Awesome.
And you're gonna be like, yeah. And that's the way we were. Like I said, I was surprised when the guys heard 4,000 Miles, the redone. I read the melody and the stuff is the same, but I've added stuff to it and changed arrangements where even he was like, wow.
The intro, when I first heard it, I didn't think it was that tune.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
Yeah.
that's a cool thing to do.
Hell yeah.
And still work, by the way, and still be the tune. Like, oh, now I get it. It wasn't like I was like, well, this is just a new song. What do you mean?
So
No, I see what you did.
And that's what we've done to all the songs. I mean, honestly, the one song we probably did not alter so much is While I Sleep, because
Yeah,
the
it's
song
fairly close
it
to
was
how I wrote it.
so wonderful the way he wrote it. The only thing I may have done on that is there was original version is parts where me and him
Yep.
did little guitar riffs differently, and we actually, instead of being a solo type of thing, we
You
made it part of the song.
took a solo that I did and actually made it a harmony part of the song.
Wow.
So I was like, great, I don't got to
so-
play anything.
So that's one song that pretty much remains untouched. And then Mike's drumming changed some stuff, made it more powerful, and Freddie just did some beautiful
Yeah,
bass
Freddie
work
really
on it.
plays some great stuff on that.
So
Well,
yeah.
hey, thank you, my friends.
Thank you.
You guys take care and you have a great rest of your day. Kick some ass in the studio.
Thank you, my man.
Something like that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Later, bro.